Marketing Group and General Manager of Intel Asia Pacific Region. 各位贵宾、各位媒体朋友，欢迎莅临英特尔随身行忆网机与平板电脑事业群活动。首先，让我们欢迎英特尔业务与行销事业群副总裁及亚太区总裁 Mr. Nevin Shimoy 来为我们致辞。
Thank you for coming. It's been a great Computex so far, hasn't it? It's been absolutely action-packed. And you've heard a lot of new news from Intel and Sean Maloney's keynote yesterday, and Malik Eaton's event here in this room yesterday as well. The industry is going through an intense period of change, and that is a constant, of course, for the technology industry. And it's no surprise that Intel chooses to use Computex as a place where we set the direction for the company in terms of the technology roadmap. This is the place, after all, where most of the innovation in the industry takes place. And our partners, all of you here in this room, make that happen. 2008, we launched Netbooks here for the first time at Computex. This year, we launched the ultra-big book category. And of course, there's a lot of action happening in the netbook and tablet category as well. And so today, we're very excited to have two people here to talk about our direction in those new segments. Doug Davis is our Vice President and General Manager for the Netbook and Tablet Group that we formed in November of last year. Doug's going to talk about where we're headed on both netbooks and tablets. Doug Fisher is also here. He is the Vice President for our System Software Division. He's going to talk to you about how software interacts with the Netbook and Tablet Group. So without further ado, please give Doug Davis a warm welcome. Doug, come on.
So good afternoon. Thanks for being here. So as Naveen indicated, we have a great relationship with ODMs and OEMs here in Taiwan. For over 30 years now, we've been working together, innovating on new ideas, and we've brought wave after wave of innovation into personal computing kinds of applications. And with each new wave, we saw new opportunities and new kinds of devices that have evolved over time. So I'm here today to talk about this rapidly emerging category that we refer to as companion computing. It's an immense opportunity that we think is represented for both Intel as well as all of the key companies that we work with here in Taiwan. So I want to talk a bit about this notion of companion computing, and let's talk first about companions. What's a companion? Well, we all have them. They're friends or people that we spend time with. They help us get things done that we need to get done. They're also someone that you can enjoy and relax with, right? Just spend time with. But they're also someone that we consider a friend, someone that we would trust. So what exactly then is companion computing? Well, companion computing is all about a personal connection between the user, the device, and the applications that sit on top of it. And we think it includes netbooks and tablets and all kinds of devices in between. But companion computing also represents an experience that becomes mobile and personal. It's easy to use, and it becomes very trusted. So mobility means a companion device that you love, that you interact with on a regular basis, is something that you would take with you everywhere you go. It's convenient. But that also means that it has a battery life that lasts all day and even longer. And that these kinds of devices are always on, always connected to the network. And these are all features, obviously, that these kinds of devices need to be able to demonstrate. However, personalization is also about the ability for a user to create an experience that can be customized to meet every individual taste and need. As we just saw earlier, we don't all like the same kind of food. We all don't like driving the same kind of cars. We don't want the same kind of experiences from our devices. So as devices become more intertwined in our daily lives, they need to be trusted. So a really great companion computing experience begins with a device, a software stack that offers a user a broad range of choice. And it's in terms of how it looks, what it's best at, and how you interact with it. So we see a huge opportunity for Intel and Taiwan to work together to deliver that kind of experience. So to do that, it's critical that we provide choice. Today's most prominent companion devices are netbook clamshells and tablets in a slate kind of form factor. But we're seeing a significant amount of innovation and a whole new category of devices that are beginning to emerge. Devices like convertibles, sliders, detachables, dual touch screens, combining features maybe from phones, tablets, netbooks, all kinds of devices that allow for not only content consumption, but also content creation. And so since the OS really defines much of the on-screen experience as well as what kind of applications you'll run, it's critical that we provide that ultimate capability in terms of choice and flexibility. So taken all together, there's room for tremendous innovation in form factor, usage models, and applications across all the leading OSs. So we're still actually at the very early stages of companion computing and kind of the innovation life cycle that's associated with it. So if you notice up on the chart that there's a curve that's intended to indicate kind of the normal life cycle that we see with new devices and new market segments. And we really believe we're just at the very beginning of this whole stage of innovation around companion computing. And we think this curve will take a decade or more to play out. We've seen this in other market segments and other application spaces. So it's really exciting to be here at the very beginning of this stage of innovation around companion computing. So I'd like to take a second and show you a video to kind of capture some of the thoughts and ideas that we have here.
Life. It's about making choices, doing things your own way, having options. After all, we don't all want the same haircut, or the same wardrobe, the same dog. So why would we all want the exact same companion computing experience?
We don't.
Intel-based companion computing. It's time to get personal.
So it's obvious from the video, there's no single capability that alone can deliver the amazing experience that we each want as individual users for these kind of devices. So if you think about how you go about creating something like this and the kind of experiences that we want, it really takes a set of capabilities, right? It starts with the absolute best silicon on the planet in terms of performance, power, integration, all the capabilities that we want to be able to put in these devices. And then it requires a combination with the operating system, right? The operating system that really is adapted to that piece of silicon and begins to extract the capabilities. And then we need to tune all of the capabilities within the platform itself, all of the other elements that go into it. And all of those components, those platforms, really kind of form the basis for these things. And on top of that, then we need a well-coordinated and vibrant ecosystem, right? The companies that can create the applications that really bring these things to life. And I'm going to add one on top of that as well, and it's something at Intel that we refer to as experience features. It's the capability to combine software along with hardware, the silicon underneath, to deliver even greater capabilities for these kinds of devices. So silicon is really at the heart of these platforms. And you know, if you think about it, we have billions of transistors working together to provide the foundation for this stack that I just described. So I want to start with the silicon. We're going to work our way up through the stack of capabilities. So you're all familiar with Moore's Law, right? For over 40 years, Intel's been innovating for products at a pace unlike any other industry in the world. Every 2 years, we deliver a new process technology that brings greater capabilities through smaller, better, faster transistors. And we just announced our 22 nanometer process technology. Now 22 nanometers is revolutionary in that it enables us to deliver a 37% increase in performance if we hold leakage constant, or if we want to hold power constant, it delivers nearly a 50% improvement in active power. So really significant improvements. And we can tune these capabilities to enable us to deliver everything from very low power smartphone type of processors all the way up to multi-core, high performance devices for servers and everything in between. So like clockwork, generation after generation, we've done this for these products for every 2 years. However, when we think about now the Atom product family, for the kinds of devices that I'm talking about here today, we're accelerating that roadmap. The system-on-chip kind of capabilities that we're delivering, and for the next several years, we'll deliver these capabilities faster than Moore's Law. So let's take a look at kind of what this accelerated roadmap looks like. Well, 45 nanometers is shipping in volume today. 32 nanometers will begin shipping in volume a little bit later this year. And 22 nanometers will be in volume production in 2013. And then we're aligning our core and SoC roadmaps at 14 nanometers. So that's a much faster cadence than we've typically done historically. And additionally, at each of these process node transitions, we're delivering Atom architectural enhancements as well. So these roadmap capabilities deliver stunning performance at dramatically lower power and the ability to integrate new features into these kinds of devices. But we're not waiting for new technologies. We're creating great new products today, and I want to talk a little bit about those. So we have several 45 nanometer platforms shipping today. The Atom N series has a range of price, performance, and power capabilities. We just announced a new version of that product, the N435. It's a strategy that we're deploying to enable extending our capabilities into emerging countries. So I want to show you some examples then. The first one here is a system from ASUS. It's called the ASUS EEPC X101. And it's using this new N435 processor. Incredibly thin, 17.6 millimeters, very cool machine running Amigo operating system. And then in addition, we have a system up here as well from Samsung. It's a Chromebook Series 5 using the Intel Atom 570 processor, 12.1-inch display, supports instant-on capabilities, 10 hours of battery life, and delivers that Chrome OS experience that hopefully you've had an opportunity to see. And then, there are a bunch of other very interesting kind of devices up here as well. So we're also have a bit of a celebration here. We have a birthday, and we're celebrating Atom's 3rd year as a product. So this is its 3-year birthday, and we're also celebrating the fact that we're shipping the 100 millionth processor this month as well. In fact, we're so excited about this. At the end of this event, we're going to have cake for everybody outside. So make sure you don't miss that. So obviously this product category has been a phenomenal success collectively for Intel and the ODMs and the OEMs that have created these Atom-based netbooks. 100 million units. So the category, though, is evolving. We're really looking forward to it continuing to evolve and deliver more and more capabilities. But it's also going to become more and more difficult to distinguish between a tablet, a netbook, and even notebooks. So I want to take a second, I want to look at another product category, and it's the Intel Atom Z670 platform that we formerly referred to as Oak Trail. This was a product that was launched at the Intel Developers Forum in Beijing back in April. And we designed this product very specifically with tablets in mind. The package footprint is 50% smaller than the previous Intel Atom 400 series devices. The Z670 supports 1080p video decode. It adds support for HDMI. And if we look at certain workloads, if we look at something like internet browsing, we're seeing that it delivers that kind of capability, that kind of workload at a 55% lower kit power. So this translates into much longer battery life without sacrificing any performance compared to the N455 processor. So we have tablets that are shipping on the Z670 today, and we have several new ones that are coming in the next quarter. And I want to show you some examples of some of these as well. So if you notice kind of up on this first row up here, we worked with a number of ODMs on various Z670 designs, and these are shipping systems as well as development platforms. We have a couple of tablets from Compal, Quanta, and others, and all of these are running the Android Honeycomb operating system. And beyond the slate form factor, we're also excited to see some of the other innovations that are going on. This is one that I think is really a lot of fun. This is the Fujitsu Lifebook TH series. It's a slider device. Has a bunch of great features on it. So you can be operating it in a mode with the keyboard, and then you can also enjoy it in a tablet form factor as well. So very interesting, very compelling kind of device. Another one that's very interesting is this one from Evolve 3. This is pretty unique in that the tablet has a little fold-out kickstand, and it also comes with a screen cover that works as a wireless keyboard as well. So a lot of innovation happening around this Z670 processor. Now, if you remember from the video, there was a businessman wearing a suit with orange sneakers. Well, his name is Jason, and I'd like to invite Jason to come out on stage with me, along with Cameron from the Intel demo team. And together we're going to talk a little bit about companion devices based on the Intel Atom Z670, and see how we can help Jason a bit with his daily life. Hey, Jason.
Hey, how's it going? Hey, very well.
So, those orange sneakers kind of indicate you don't like to be labeled or categorized. Is that a good guess?
No, that's exactly right. I may work for a big, stuffy financial institution, but I've got a life outside of the office. What I really need is a single companion computing device that'll meet the requirements of my IT department back at work, but still allow me to do all the things I want to do when I'm not at work, like play games, watch movies, touch up photos, that kind of thing.
So I think that's a good indication of why choice is important in this kind of category of devices, to be able to meet that enterprise need as well as other things that you might want to do. So, Cameron, can we help Jason out a little bit here?
Absolutely, Jason. So we actually have a great solution for you. This is the Fujitsu Stylistic Q550. It's an enterprise tablet. Great form factor, beautiful design, gives you everything that you could need in a tablet.
I like it already. Looks great.
The device is designed with the enterprise in mind. You can actually get you can get SSD in here, you can get hard disk encryption, you can get card reader, and everything your IT department will love you for.
I can tell you, all this technology make me feel like James Bond. But listen, I've got to be able to run Windows on this. It doesn't run Windows in Office. I've got to run this at work.
Absolutely. And it communicates with all your peripherals, so you can actually print without having to do a tutorial.
Sounds great to me. Now, can I use a stylus on this? Because I also like to draw, and sometimes these fingers just don't do it.
Yeah, absolutely. You get the best of both worlds. You get the multi-touch features that everybody demands these days, and you get the use of the stylus in case you have fat fingers like I do.
So hey, Cameron, Jason's also talking about some of the things he wants to do away from work. Can we help him out with some of those as well?
Yes, absolutely. So a couple of things you were talking about, 1080p video content. So this is high-profile 1080p decode going on this device. And as you can see, it's a pretty amazing picture. But that's actually not it. I heard from a little birdie that you're a big Angry Birds fan.
I'm definitely an Angry Birds fan.
Everybody loves Angry Birds. So what we've actually done is gone to the Intel App Store and downloaded Angry Birds. You'll be able to take this on the plane with you back to the U.S. and play it to your heart's content.
Sounds great.
Okay?
This looks great, and it's really light.
Absolutely.
I love it.
Great.
Okay.
Hey, thanks, Jason. Thanks, Cameron. So hopefully we've taken care of all your needs there. So it sounds like we kind of improved Jason's companion computing experience, right? It all starts with choice. This ability to have a platform that's optimized to meet his needs from an enterprise perspective, but also to do a lot of the fun things that he wants to do as well. So we have some really fantastic products for companion computing today. but I want to look at what's coming, what's ahead of us. So I said earlier, we're accelerating our pace, right? We're moving faster than Moore's Law would indicate. And so I'm excited about our 32 nanometer products as well for companion computing. And when we talk about these, and we're talking about Cedar Trail and Medfield. So let's start with Cedar Trail. So this is a platform that scales from entry-level desktop type of applications down to fanless netbooks. And this fanless SKU that enables platforms that are quieter, thinner, and lighter than the current netbooks that are out there today. So we've delivered frequency as well as performance improvements in Cedar Trail, and it gives it the capabilities through both CPU and graphics core enhancements for about a 2x graphics performance compared to the N455. It supports 1080p high definition playback, supports Blu-ray, integrates HDMI. It delivers a beautiful viewing and overall media experience. And all of these features are delivered with up to 55% lower thermal design point. The enhanced power management translates into thinner devices, longer battery life, the kinds of things that we're all looking for. So a great example of this is another device I want to show you that's up here. This is something we refer to as Keeley Lake. And this is a device that we've worked together with Melada to develop. Really a stunning system. It's a thin convertible at 19 millimeters. It uses Intel advanced cooling technology, has a physical keyboard for productivity so that you can do that content creation, but it also has a multi-touch display for tablet type of usages as well. So you can spin the screen around, go right into a tablet type of mode as well. So these are some of the kind of capabilities that these systems can deliver for some of these new experiences. And they really come to life by having the silicon, OSs, and applications all working together. So I want to walk through some of the features we're going to have with the Cedar Trail platform. You remember I mentioned earlier these experience features. So it's things like Intel Wireless Display, lets you move that image from your screen onto your television. The Intel Smart Connect technology keeps tweets, RSS, email, those things up to date, even when your system's in standby. You don't have to wait to reconnect to get that latest email, the thing I'm always trying to do in the airport. Cedar Trail also seamlessly connects with Ericsson's 3G Quick Connect technology, reduces the amount of time it takes for that 3G connection. Of course, Intel AppUp provides the capability to get applications for Windows and MeeGo type of operating systems. One of my favorites, PC Sync technology allows you to seamlessly connect the devices that you want to be able to share information with and be able to do that very, very quickly. And then finally, Intel Rapid Start technology, which makes the device ready when you need it. Makes it a very rapid startup kind of approach. So it's always fun to talk about these things, but I thought it might be a lot more fun for you to be able to experience them. So now, remember again the character from the opening video that was looking at strollers? Well, her name is Maya, and she's a new mom. So I want to invite her on stage with Cameron again, and talk a little bit about how a companion device based on Cedar Trail can help with her very busy life. Hi, Maya.
Hi, Dad.
All right.
Super right about my busy life. I mean, the most time I ever give myself is probably 30 minutes, and even that's rare.
Yeah, so I have kids too, so I remember way back in those days, right? It's just trying to find a few little pockets of time to get something done is really tough. So, hey Cameron, is there a way we can help Maya out here?
Absolutely. So I know having twins is pretty hectic. So I want to show you 4 features that are actually going to be available with your Cedar Trail 32 nanometer platforms. The first one I want to show you is what we call our Intel Smart Connect technology. And so what I'm basically going to do is I'm going to close it up. So right now it's going to sleep. So when you put it to sleep, you wouldn't be able to get anything until this technology, as far as your RSS, your Facebook, and things like that. But I want to come back to that. I want to actually go to our Rapid Start technology. So I will go and do that. So basically what it's doing right now is writing to the flash. So anything that you have going on your desktop, say you're watching a movie or something like that, it would actually write that to flash and be able to bring that up as soon as it comes back up from the sleep state. So we're taking it down to this near zero sleep state, and battery life increases tremendously, up to about 30 days of battery life at that point. It's pretty incredible. There we go. We will start back up. Take about 5-6 seconds to boot back up. So right here, it's absolutely perfect. You get back to doing whatever you were doing beforehand, and when babies start crying, and I know that happens all the time, so you get back to what you were doing.
I love it. I love it. It's great.
Absolutely. So I want to get back to our Smart Connect technology. So this, we put this system to sleep. And so it's actually going out. It'll go out about once every minute or so, and go and hit your RSS feeds and see if there's anything new. So I have my tweet deck up, and actually I can see that I've gotten some tweets as soon as I shut it down. It actually went up and updated that for me. So
you're saying the second I get back to my netbook, all my contact or all my stuff, information is right there?
absolutely, there's no waiting to go.
Wow.
So Cameron, we have more stuff. What else can we do?
So actually, you were talking about, that your husband actually puts all of your pictures on your all-in-one
Yes.
at home. Well, I have the exact opposite problem. My wife takes all the pictures in the house, and she puts them on her own system. But I want to take some of those pictures with me wherever I go. But I have to go through all the pictures. So what I have her do is put pictures in a folder, and with this PC Sync software that we have here, you can actually, as soon as I walk in the door, it'll automatically upload those pictures to whatever device I give permissions to, and so I get to view those pictures on the fly.
Wow.
So what we're going to do here, we'll take it up to the big screen. We'll get a little help from the back. We'll go ahead and we'll drop some pictures over onto the desktop. So this is basically what it looks like. It's already popped up on my screen. I can click on it, and I have access to all my pictures. And this, you can actually, your mom or your sister, comes over, you can actually set their permissions, so their devices as well, as soon as they come onto your network and have permission, we'll automatically get those pictures as well, so you don't have to have them asking for those pictures.
So all my pictures are right there, and I don't have to do a thing.
Another thing.
Oh,
Pretty simple.
I wish I did today.
Well, we don't have an app for that, trust me. But I also noticed in the video that your glasses were falling off, and so maybe we can help out with that too, Cameron.
Absolutely. So check out this app from our friends at Total Immersion. It allows users to literally try on different styles of eyeglasses using augmented reality technology. So she can try on, I know you don't have a whole lot of time, you can try on, and this doesn't only stop there, but this is eyeglasses. She can try on these eyeglasses, order them online, and be ready to go when the babies are home and awake.
I think I'm going to buy these.
Yeah, I think those look great. Can we order them online? Okay, so hey, thanks, Maya. Thanks for coming out and helping us out, and good luck with the kids. Thanks, Cameron. So those are just a few of the experience features that I talked about. In fact, we didn't even have time to show the wide-eye 3G Connect ones that I also mentioned. But we think these kinds of applications like this augmented reality are the ones that are just beginning to emerge and just beginning to evolve. And when we think about how we could then utilize that for things like maybe makeup or jewelry or clothes, but these also require a significant amount of performance. And we're really focused on delivering that kind of performance into these kinds of devices. We want to improve compute capabilities as well as graphics capabilities within the thermal envelope that's necessary to meet the requirements for companion computing kinds of devices. So lower power and thermal design points are especially important in tablets. And I want to take a look at our 32 nanometer tablet platform called Netbookk. So this wafer here has the 32 nanometer SoC processors at the heart of the Netbookk platform. So this platform is targeted at smartphones and tablets. It supports 1080p video playback, HDMI, so those kind of rich media experiences that you look forward to. And we have a reference design of that Netbookk platform here running Honeycomb. So this is, you may have seen this in Sean's keynote. He held it up. So, it's a type of device that allows our customers to do development. And so we're pretty excited about that as well. So our software development, ecosystem enabling are really in full swing for these kinds of devices. So web browsing, video streaming, local HD playback are all key workloads for tablet usage today. And we've compared Medfield platform power consumption to some of the leading tablets in the market today across various different workloads. So Medfield will be very competitive in terms of power consumption, both standby as well as running various different workloads. And then we also looked at the thickness of these devices and what Medfield will enable. And we think that reference design is leading as well. Again, very competitive. So you should expect to see Medfield tablets with specs that include under 9 millimeters thick, under 1.5 pounds with 10-inch displays, and running operating systems such as the Android Honeycomb and MeeGo operating systems. So we're on track with development of Cedar Trail and Medfield, but we also have another 32 nanometer product coming next year called Clover Trail. So we're excited about that one. That's another product coming next year. So operating systems along with application software, as I said earlier, are critical for delivering these amazing experiences. In fact, they're so important that I wanted to bring an expert up on stage to spend some time talking to you a bit about what's going on. So I want to introduce my colleague, Doug Fisher. He's the Vice President and General Manager of the Integrated Software Platform Division. So Doug's organization is taking these operating systems and porting them and optimizing them across multiple different platforms. So I want to bring Doug up and give you some insight on some of the things that he's doing.
As Doug described, companion computing is about personal. It's about making that device mine, fulfilling my unique requirements. And how do we do that? Intel is committed to offering choice of environments and choice of unique user experiences to meet the needs of our end users. And the key element to that is an architecture, Intel architecture. It is the only architecture that's capable of delivering this broad set of operating environments necessary to meet the needs of unique users. If you take a look over here, we have 3 tablet devices, all running on the exact same hardware. Each one of these devices, there's no unique difference in the hardware, they're all the same. On this device, I have Honeycomb running on this Atom-based device, tablet device. On this, I have Windows 7 tablet running on our Ocho tablet. And on this device, we have MeeGo running. So we have 3 unique user experiences all running on the same exact hardware. That is the power of an architecture, the power of Intel architecture. Now, as we saw earlier, the tennis shoe wearing businessman who had different experiences he wanted to have with his personal device. He wanted to have a unique experience for his needs in the business environment, professional environment. And he also had his needs in the personal world, where he wanted to play movies, games, and other things. But he also wanted to have one device. And because Intel architecture runs each one of these environments, we're now seeing innovation and be able to run all those environments on a single device. So instead of Jason having to have multiple devices to meet his needs, you can have all those operating environments running on a single device. This device by Evolve, it's called Evolve 3, is running 3 operating environments that you can boot into. MeeGo, Android, and Windows are all running on this device. So that's the innovation we're seeing on Intel architecture. Now, a critical element for us to build on this is the platform architecture. As a software person, Intel architecture gives me that stable, consistent architecture that I can innovate on and optimize for any choice that the end users demand. And so we're committed from an Intel perspective to meet all of that end user demand with the choices operating system, from Microsoft to Google to an open platform called MeeGo. We work hand in hand with these companies to optimize their operating environment with our platform capabilities to ensure that we deliver the most compelling experience to that end user. So our ODMs and OEMs who are building these systems can take full advantage of the optimizations we do. Again, so when they deliver that system to the end user, they can trust that it's fully optimized to take advantage of the platform capabilities that I described. Let me talk about what we're doing with each one of these. With Android, the demand is high, and Intel is aggressively moving to address the marketplace with Android. We started working with Android back in 2007 when we started the Open Handheld Alliance. We were one of the founding members of that effort. And since then, we've been optimizing Android on top of Intel architecture, along with the Dalvik runtime, to ensure that when people like Jason fix this environment to run for his personal life, he gets that best experience on Intel platforms. And so we're committed to continue that investment to ensure that the best experience is on Intel architecture. He also had a professional life. He demanded to have Windows capabilities running on his device. And as you heard in Sean's keynote yesterday, the Microsoft executive talked about this deep relationship we've had with Microsoft for over 20 years. Working hand in hand with them, not only building out and innovating on their current platforms, but also researching their next generation platforms. So you saw in this tablet up here, our Windows 7 work that goes not only across Atom, but across all of our core platforms as well. We're working with them on future generations of Microsoft operating environments as well, ensuring that by working hand in hand with them, that we can take full advantage of the capabilities that are in our platform and continue to evolve our platform to deliver a better experience for those needing this type of environment. You saw the Chrome OS. That Chrome OS environment was optimized on Intel architecture. It's the only architecture that was able to deliver the power and performance capabilities they needed to deliver that usage experience. That cloud-based usage experience that they wanted to deliver needed the necessary capabilities we delivered in IA architecture. The quote up here talks about how well we worked with Google in delivering this. All the open source work we do was directly applied into some of the Chrome OS capabilities. So it was architected on Intel and delivered on Intel into the marketplace. And we'll show some of that in a little bit. And finally, on MeeGo. It's about a year ago today that we released our first version of MeeGo, MeeGo 1.0. And our promise to the market was that we would deliver a consistent architecture to meet the needs of devices in multiple segments. These are segments like the Netbookk, in-vehicle entertainment, IPTV, tablet, etc. Since that release last year, we've seen devices go into the market. You just saw the ASUS Netbookk, and more are being announced this week. We've had tablets going into Europe, IPTV in Europe, and in-vehicle entertainment. Geneva is a consortium in the in-vehicle entertainment world where they have the likes of BMW, General Motors, Honda, Jaguar, and others who got together and said, we need an open platform. We need some standard-based open platform that we can innovate our in-vehicle system together. And they chose MeeGo as that base platform. You have companies like Taipei shipping devices with MeeGo. So it's meeting the value proposition that we intended to build on in the open ecosystem. So to further describe some of the work that our companies are doing together on Intel architecture and these various unique operating environments, I'd like to bring a friend and colleague up, David Lee, Vice President of Mobile Computing at Acer, to talk about some of the things. I'd like David to talk about some of the things that Acer is doing with Intel architecture and the various operating environments I described.
Okay, sorry, great turnout today. Okay, this is Acer's Chromium. It's a platform device that is built on Intel Atom and Google OS. It's a device that is designed for the user to experience the cloud. And as the cloud evolves over the next few years, the product is designed to evolve with it. Okay. Here we have an Aspire 1. It is our Happy series. So if you take a look at this, it's, the color is definitely very personal. Okay. And I hope the users are also happy with it. And loaded is with MeeGo. And MeeGo is able to develop, provide our users a very good experience to access the internet. And as a consumption device, it's top of the class. And one of the things we are able to do with MeeGo also is the customization that we built around social networking, so that we can have a specific, customizable UI that we can innovate upon.
That's fantastic. So what you've done is taken, for example, MeeGo, which one of the value propositions was the ability to differentiate, provide unique affinity to your companies, to Acer. By being able to differentiate on this, you're able to provide that value to your customers. That's great. So it's wonderful. So what you see in here is not only Intel architecture consistently across this, but different operating environments delivering unique usage models. Now, David, is there anything else you can share with us that you've been working on?
Yes. First time, we also want to take this opportunity to show some of the work we have done with been changing. And we're seeing if we use a food analogy, it's like a fast food experience. People are looking for a snacking experience that they can duplicate or use anytime, anywhere. So first time, this is Acer's working with Intel using an Atom processor, Eagle-based tablet. So this is designed for what we call a snacking UI. The touch is quite interesting and it shows the capability.
So you've optimized all the touch capability on this device to take full advantage of the Atom-based platform.
Correct, and continuously we will keep improving and fine-tuning it. There's a special feature where we call that demonstrative, the multi-point touch capability, is the Acer Ring. So we can see that we have a browser that we can use to bring up different, quickly launches different webs with task switching capability so that we can leverage the multitasking.
Now, all these widgets, are these live feeds or just static feeds?
Oh yeah, for sure. To ensure that the information is always available to the user, these are all active live widgets. So that, for example, we have a photo widget here that once you start it, it can start playing your photo store inside the system, right? And also we have a video widget that you can use also to play that video. And this further demonstrates the multitasking capability that we can have when needed.
Wow, that's fantastic, David. I really appreciate you sharing that with us today. That's the first time we've seen that. Thank you. So that's another great example of taking Intel architecture, the consistency provides, the robustness and power provides, and delivering unique usage experiences on a single device. When you get a device as an end user, I call it the out-of-box experience. It needs to be compelling, just like David showed. However, it also needs to be personalized. We need to ensure that there's content, services, applications available to the end user to make this device theirs, to personalize that device, to ensure that they can enhance it and improve it to meet their needs. In order to do that, you have to provide an ecosystem built around that. What this slide shows is basically the power that Intel has working with that ecosystem. We've been involved in ISV communities, the independent software vendor ecosystem for many years. We have a deep relationship, a broad relationship, one of the largest in the world. And our ability to engage with that ecosystem and ensure that it takes full advantage of our Intel platform has been involved. We've been involved in that for many, many years. And so it's Intel's commitment to take all that capability we have, that worldwide capability we have in development platform engineering, and bring that to ensure that ecosystems around Migo and Android are available for devices when they hit the market. So we're committed to make sure that these ISVs have software development vehicles, that have the right tools to optimize for Intel architecture, take full advantage of the capabilities that we deliver, and ensure that we have the events and the labs and the other educational environments to get the best advantage they can when they're delivering their solution onto our platform. And then finally, ensuring that there's a marketplace for these developers to monetize their solutions so that they're incented to continue to innovate and build on these platforms. To ensure that when you get this device, we have a great experience. We talked about all the intimacy we have between the operating environment and the hardware, but also they have a great experience once they have that device in bringing in unique content and capabilities that makes it personal, makes it theirs. And so we're committed to bringing that to these markets as well. And so Doug and I have talked about the user experience. The user experience is not just the UI that you see and touch. It's the entire platform. It starts with delivering the most compelling silicon and the most advanced technology, building platforms that have unique capabilities from Intel, and then taking and optimizing that operating environment on top of those platforms to ensure the best experience is delivered on those devices. And then ensuring that we motivate and move the ecosystem to embrace these platforms and deliver more and more value on these devices so that you as an end user can personalize it and improve that device. And so as I leave the stage, I think the best way I can show you how this works is using a video that shows you how we take all these elements, the platform, the operating environment, and the applications and build a complete stack, a complete user experience around a vertical.
Meet Jenny.
I'm a student.
But she's more than just a student.
Yeah, I'm also a weightlifter.
She's the future. So to help Jenny and millions like her, Intel is doing some heavy lifting of our own, working on multiple fronts to make the educational experience better, more accessible, and more personal through the application of technology.
We founded Keynote to bring education to the 21st century, and we're trying to transform the way students learn. We are doing that by digitizing education, bringing textbooks online, and creating amazing software experience for the students to interact with textbooks. Digital education lends itself to companion computing in an amazing fashion. A simple example is a student may be highlighting on a textbook on a tablet, but they can walk to another computer, a laptop, and access the same textbook and see all the highlighting or all the content that they were adding on the tablet. That allows us to bring education and make it consistent in the cloud and give access to it from anywhere. Although our solution requires a lot of innovative technology, our mission isn't about technology at all. It's really about transforming the learning experience. We are on a mission to make learning more engaging, more interactive, more social, and above all, more personal.
We all know how important technology is a tool for preparing students to thrive in the knowledge-driven economy. But using technology does not mean simply putting computers into the classroom. It requires complete, purpose-built solutions that include the hardware, the software, the content, and services. With Intel Learning Series, we are personalizing the way students learn and helping them learn at their own pace. Today, purpose-built Learning Series solutions are helping over 4 million students learn in ways that are more natural and fun.
Personalized companion computing from Intel. Lightening the load for students like Jenny, and introducing a new era of choice. At home, at work, and everywhere in between for users everywhere.
Awesome!
So education is a great example of a vertical market segment where companion computing and personal, mobile, trusted experiences are needed. And there are many different vertical market segments where these computing type of devices, these companion computing devices, really become essential. And we've already talked about consumer and enterprise, but think about education and medical, government, financial services, and many, many more. Intel architecture provides the flexibility and choice to perform the kinds of things that you need to do in these kinds of market segments and these kinds of applications. So in wrapping up then, I want to touch on a couple of things. Companion computing, as I said, is all about the personal connection between the user, the device, and the applications. And this means giving Maya, Jason, Jenny choices in the form factor, the operating systems, the kinds of applications and experiences that they need and they want to enrich their lives. So Intel gets this, and we're investing in this space. We're accelerating our SoC roadmap using the world's best process technologies to deliver stunning performance, significantly improving battery life, and delivering the promise of mobile devices that are personalized to the needs of a user. So companion computing is a very new area when compared to the PC industry as a whole. And the world is just beginning to see some of the scale and scope that this opportunity represents. And frankly, there's much, much more to be learned. Experiments to be tried, winning designs that will emerge over time. But the one thing that is not new is the companion-like relationships that we've shared between friends and partners through the transitions of personal technology over the years. And working together, we can seize on this opportunity. And I believe that Intel, along with our partners here in Taiwan, will make history once again. So thank you.
Thank you all very much for joining today's event.